Hi, welcome to 2025. Let's start by a Q&A, shall we? So I asked all of you to send the questions on YouTube or Instagram. I've selected 15 of them. They are all here, so I'm gonna go through them one by one and try to answer as best as I can. This is also the first video that I am not scripting at all, so apologies for the upcoming ums and like words. So first question is, what's the biggest advice you'd give to your younger self? And did you ever think about quitting music? Why? No, never thought about quitting music. Quitting like the business part of it, yes, but the music, nah. Now the biggest advice that I'd give to my younger self is to not wait to be good to start sharing my music, is to start now. Like, build your skills in public. This is the best thing that you can do for your music career right now. Especially in 2025, people are moving more towards a social media world of authenticity and sharing like real or raw experiences that people are having. So document what you're doing, share your very first songs, even if they're trash. You'll still be way further than you would have been if you wouldn't have started. So yeah, I started when I was like 25, when I felt ready in terms of not being shy and, you know, not afraid of the judgment of people. But in a way, I don't regret it because I'm where I am today, and thank God, but I could have been there way earlier and maybe even further. What inspired you to go all in on content/personal branding plus music production? Gary Vee. I read his book, Crushing It or Crush It, one of the two, and in his book, he said, document, don't create. He was talking about how it would have been amazing if the Beatles would have documented all their sessions where they were creating their most favorite, most known tracks, right? It would be super cool. Not to say that I'm gonna become the Beatles, but it put the idea in my brain that it would be really cool to document and really show what it takes to learn a skill or to master something and to get great at it from scratch. Because when I personally started, I tried to look on YouTube for my favorite artists and go back to their previous videos, their oldest videos. But when they started was still them being good already. And I was like, oh, I can't learn from you. So because I saw this, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna start on day zero, documenting it so that everyone that starts after me will be able to learn from me. And that was the whole idea of PLV Music. What was the first beat you have ever made? Well, speaking about it, let's listen. So let's go to my YouTube channel and to my oldest videos, because the very first beat I made is the very first song I released on my channel, which is better now.
I see it in your stare. You're saying, oh no, oh no. Never
It's been a while, I haven't listened to it.
Say no, no, oh no. And I know where it's going. Just get it
It's a bit
over
empty.
with. Get it over. Don't make it harder than need be. Hopefully you feel much better now, better now.
Go for it. It's not bad. That was my first song. I made it in the Kygo monthly class, which is now called Studio. It was a 1 month class where you made 3 beats, like 3 songs with Kygo. And I think that's the only reason why this first beat is decent. It's because I started with an online course, so it helped a lot. But yeah, it's cute. It's cute. And just to prove the point that I was saying before, build your skills in public, don't wait to be good. If you check the comments, you know, this is also a superb track. It's really nice. Keep going, producer, right? Look at this. Thank you so much for your music and sharing your career. It literally is my very first song, and there's still people liking it and thanking me for sharing my career from day one. That's it. That's my point. Your music sounds really nice. Yeah, you know? So, because like we are producers, so we have big expectations for our music because we technically know if it's good or bad. But good or bad in music to someone that doesn't have a musical ear is very subjective. For someone, it might be the best track, and for the other, it could be the worst track. It just depends on their taste, all right? So yeah, don't wait. Anyway, next question. How did you finally realize that you wanted to pursue music full-time and not to keep it as a hobby? Well, first off, I never started with the intent of it being a hobby. I always started since day one with the intent of taking it full-time. Since day one, I saw it as like a, business/job thing, all right? And I think that's one very important distinction, because there's so many people online that say, you know, like, if you want to monetize your passion, like, just do it for the passion. If it turns into a full-time job, it will. This is bullshit to me, because the mindset and the strategies required to take something into a full-time job it's completely different than just doing a hobby. You can't wing it. You need to have the right strategies in place to reach that goal. So yeah, that's why since day one, I had a plan. On another note, I think that it's just 0.1% of people that it does happen this kind of thing where they turn their passion into a full-time job, but we are not the 0.1%. It does take heavy lifting and a lot of work and a lot of planning for it. So yeah, if you are in the 99.9% like me, do not wing it. All right. I really wanted to ask, what's your best advice for some people with musical knowledge that needs to start their social seriously? How do you think we could perceived as valuable? Okay, so to answer that question, I'm gonna guess that because you're saying musical knowledge, you wanna like teach and doing some kind of educational stuff. So I'll go with this, but there's two ways. You can share educational content or inspirational content. And there's kind of two ways that I like to go about it. When you're going for like the real like educational, it's gonna be how-to and tips and, you know, things like that. But this starts to be not working as well as before. Right now, I think the inspirational, sharing your own experience, sharing your own opinion, your own way of doing things is what's working better right now, using the storytelling to draw from your own story. And so this is where you can change a how-to video into a how-I. And this is where, you know, if people relate to your opinion, your way of doing things, this is when you'll be perceived as valuable. And this is how I've been doing it for a very long time. You could add some things like why you do X that everyone doesn't, you know, all those kind of things. All right, next one, how to start earning using my music skills. My favorite topic. So it would be a very long answer, okay? I've made a whole course about it, which I will link in the description if you want to look into it. But here's 5 steps to get you started as quick as now. First thing is you need to decide how you want to monetize. Do you want to do online courses? Do you want to do sync licenses? Do you want to sell beats? Do you want to sell digital products like sample and preset packs? Do you want to do ghost producing, mixing and mastering services, sell guitar services? Like, you need to know how you want to monetize. And I would pick 3 to 5 different income sources, like broad categories of income sources. Then calculate how much money you need to make per month, second step. And the third one is you take all those income sources and you divide them into a certain amount of money to reach that monthly goal of yours. So for example, let's take it very simple. If you want to do $5,000 with your music and you want to do, you know, online courses and mixing mastering services, let's say you're going to say, I'm going to make $3,000 with mixing and mastering services at $500 each, which is 6 clients. And then my course will be, you know, I don't know, $200, and I need to sell 10. Yes, to make $2,000, right? Like, the idea is just to have a very specific plan as to how you want to monetize, okay? Then from there, you just pick one of them, step 4, and step 5, you go through with it for at least 3 to 6 months before deciding that it doesn't work. That's it. Now, if you want to go into more details, you can check out Music Creator, but that's for the short answer. Okay, how do you actually get to the point of being able to sell products for enough money? Like, I get it, you need the right audience and provide the right value, but I'm honestly sometimes too afraid to ask for higher prices and afraid to scare the customer in a way. Any tips you got? So I think it's a matter of how you position yourself, and also a good old imposter syndrome. The first thing that I would say is try to make authority content, like I call it. The idea is to show your expertise in the skills so that at some point people will start to see you as the expert and as someone very skilled and valuable. The second thing is, if you don't really know what to price, start kind of low, and then every time you get a new client or a new customer, just go up and see until when you can go, because they'll tell you if it's too much at some point, right? And if someone it tells you that it's too expensive, well, it's either not the right client for you because they need to respect your worth, or it's just someone that doesn't have the budget, and that's unfortunately the way it is. At the end of the day, this is your job. You need to make the money that you need to make, obviously without charging, crazy amounts. But it's how you pay your bills, so you gotta stay strong and stand your ground as to how much you charge. Making music and sharing your knowledge and things like this is things that took years to master, years to learn, so you should charge what you're worth. Ooh, tell us about your engagement proposal. Curious. All right. If you've seen the channel, you've heard me talk about my boyfriend, which is now my fiance. We've been together for 7 years now. I don't speak about him too much. I don't show him on the channel ever, because I do like to keep him separate from all this social media, business, music world. I like that he's not related to it, because when I'm with him, I'm just, it's a good separation between the two, and I think it's healthy. So I won't share, pictures or anything, but the engagement proposal, he got me to English Bay, which is my most favorite beach, in Vancouver. It's so beautiful. It has the most beautiful sunset you'll ever see. We got there, and then he did a magic trick where he made a coin disappear, and then he made it reappear, but it was a ring. So, yeah. And I said yes. Ooh, it's getting really warm in here. I'm getting all giddy. All right, that's it. Next. How do you feel about studying music from other genre? Do you find this extremely helpful for your own genre, or is it better to spend time learning your own genre really well first, especially as a beginner? So because you said especially as a beginner, I would say stick to your one genre for, I don't know exactly how long, but until you really are good at it, or at least decent. Because at the beginning it's gonna be way easier to do that. That's what I did as well. Every time I was spending, 3 to 6 months on one genre before moving to another one. But at some point, after a couple years, I did experiment with other genre, so I could take a few style or techniques or sound from each to make my own. Now I know that I think I pretty much have my own style now. I think when you hear my songs, the last 3-4 ones, people do say oh yeah, it has PLV vibes. So I think that works pretty well. But yeah, my last songs, I have no idea what the genre is, honestly, and that's making it really hard for me to sign it to a label. So that's kind of the con of it, because I don't know what category to use to submit. But yeah, in my last songs, it blends progressive house, future bass, deep house, melodic house, lo-fi, tropical house. But that's also how it stands out. Obviously some people are not gonna like it at all, but the people that do like it, they love it because it stands out, it's unique, right? So yeah, that's what I would do. Next we have, what would you say your biggest achievements as a music producer are? Definitely getting placed in 2 editorial Spotify playlists. I think it was in 2022, which is kind of crazy because it was on my second year. It was for my song To the Finish Line. It got placed on the EDM editorial playlist, and the crazy thing was that my song was in between Martin Garrix's new song and David Guetta's new song. And when I saw this, I was like, what? So yeah, it was absolutely insane. And when I saw this, I was like, yep, that's my biggest achievement. So yeah. All right, I have around 27k subscribers on YouTube. Congrats. How can I get sponsorships and review units from music tech companies? Could you please explain if you have any idea? Well, there's only 2 ways to go about it, really. You tag them in your content, you attract them, or you do cold outreach. You check to get their email, you ask other music creators that worked with them to get their email, and you contact them. That's literally 2 ways to go about it. I do have a bonus module in my course Music Creator called How to Land Sponsorships with Top Music Brands, so if you want, you can take a look at that one as well. But yeah, that's how I would do it. Tag brands in your content until they reach out to you, or reach out to them before. All right, how do you plan for vacation as a full-time producer? I love vacation. I need a vacation, actually. So there's a few things that I do. I plan content ahead of time. So before the vacation, it's going to be a little bit of a rush to do twice the amount of content. But, you know, I don't want to work during my vacation. So I do that all the time. Or, to be honest, I just decide not to upload because, hey, you know, social media isn't going anywhere. I need a break. That's fine. All right. And then two things, let your current clients know that you're in vacation. And also set up a automated OOO, like out of office email reply to let people know when you'll come back and be able to check your emails. And that's pretty much it. What can you do as a music producer while there's no clients coming onto your studio for business and that can help you to continue make money? I see three things like that right now. I see networking, you know, spend time networking with other people on social media, grow your network, make new connections. You can also keep building your portfolio, so add more music to your website, to your portfolio, to your BeatStars, to your Spotify, all that good stuff. And you can also improve your production skills, so do a lot of tutorials, take an online course, just improve. Because the more you improve, the more you can charge. So, or finish your projects faster and then make more money per hour. So, always worth it. Okay, and finally, what's your ultimate dream, even if it sounds crazy right now? Headline a festival? No. I don't think I've ever been to a festival in my life. Or like mini festival, like in the city, which I did not like. I do not like to be around a lot of people, in the middle of a lot of people. I hate that. It freaks me out. It scares me. So no, thank you. Also, like, I don't know, maybe it's a cliche that I have, but to me, when I hear festival, I just see a lot of like drunk people all on drugs, and that's the complete opposite of what I like. So yeah, it doesn't attract me at all. Maybe you tell me if it's completely wrong, but also I could not headline a festival, or maybe at 2 p.m., but I like to go to bed at 9 or 10 p.m., so I cannot do a headline at 1 a.m. in a festival. I'd be asleep for 4 hours, okay? Have a 1 million channel? Probably not. I've learned it the hard way already that I do not deal well under pressure, judgment, attention, expectations, and all that good stuff. And the haters and mid comments, you know, that comes with the social media part. So 1 million would probably be way too much for me. I'm already getting warm just because I do not want that. When I think about your question, I'm like, you know, what would be my dream? Well, work on my own, do my own hours, being able to make music anytime I want, travel and make money at the same time. Those are things that I can do right now, that I have right now. So I don't see much that would change, except with a 1 million channel, you just have more haters, more mean comments, more expectations, more judgment, and so I don't really need to deal with that. I don't really want to. So yeah, no, honestly, right now, my real ultimate dream is I get so much pleasure and satisfaction by helping other music creators being able to monetize, to grow their audience, and quit their 9-to-5 job, that this is what I want to do, really. I love that. Obviously, I have some music goals, but, you know, signing with Magic Records would be my music goal right now. But in terms of the real important goal, yeah, helping 1,000 music creators quit their job and make money through their passion and live their best life like I'm doing right now is really what I'm all about. And, you know, this is why I made the course. So, yeah, I would say that's what it is. So, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed getting to know my answers and maybe getting to know me a little bit better. I would love to hear what you think about all the answers in the comments, and otherwise I'll see you in the next video. Bye.